The next time we see Simon Williams, though, isn't for another 4 years. It's in Avengers number 102 in 1972 when we revisit the events of Avengers number 9. But this time we learn that after the Avengers tried to save Simon, and they realized they could not, Hank Pym had recorded Wonder Man's brain engrams, unbeknownst to the Avengers, in hopes that one day he could be revived. And then he puts him in this special stasis coffin. Also, unbeknownst to the Avengers, Wonder Man wasn't really dead. No. He had entered a catatonic state while the process that Zemo had put him through actually continued. Wonder Man remained in suspended animation for years, and it's during this period that Ultron, we all know that guy, Ultron, the evil robot that Hank Pym had created, steals Wonder Man's brain engrams from his computer to use it for his own synthezoid baby boy, the Vision. Because he needed a brain. He needed a brain. When Simon's body was about to be buried, it was actually captured by the Grim Reaper, his brother. The Reaper offered to put Vision's consciousness into Simon's body, feeling that a part of his brother was somehow trapped inside the Vision, even though Eric would say such things like, "My brother would never marry a damn dirty mutant." He still felt like at least a part of him was stuck inside the Vision. Of course, the Vision declined this generous offer. Instead, the Reaper, still consumed and maddened by his grief, takes Simon's body to voodoo priest the Black Talon, who later resurrects Simon as a zombie. Zuvembi. But he resurrects him as a Zuvumbi, and they don't really have consciousness, so they're just really dumb, slow-moving zombies. So he resurrects him as this thing with the Black Talon, who's at the time under the Grim Reaper's control, and he sends him to attack the Avengers. So he shows up at Avengers Mansion all shaky and zombie-like, and he would just kind of like a zombie, like, "He did it. He's the one who stole my mind." And then he collapses. After he collapses, Hank Pym, Tony Stark, and Hank McCoy, the Beast, take Wonder Man's body and examine it. And they determine that, yes, he is alive, but his mind isn't exactly functioning on all cylinders. But he was slowly recovering, so there was that. Simon was then fully restored to consciousness when the living laser was wearing the powerful serpent crown and mentally controlling him. Thanks to the living laser bringing him back to consciousness, here we have the living laser mentally controlling Simon Williams, Wonder Man. He sends him to go and attack the Beast, Hank McCoy. Well, Hank McCoy ain't no slouch either. He's pretty strong. And he hurls Simon into a wall, like through a wall, and knocks him unconscious somehow. Once you realize just how strong and nigh and vulnerable Wonder Man is, you'll realize what an absolute feat that was for Beast to achieve. As soon as Beast knocks him out, he carries Simon to get medical attention because he's like, "Oh no, I don't want him to have a concussion, even though he tried to kill me." He takes him to a hospital and gets him medical attention, and then he wakes up, and not only wakes up, but he's got full use of his faculties again. He's good to go. Yay. Once he is back to his old self and he's able to control his own body and decisions, he helps Beast in taking down the living laser. This starts a very long and close-knit relationship between Hank McCoy and Simon Williams. They become best friends for life, for reals. After this event, the Avengers fully accept Wonder Man as an ally, and later he gets promoted to full-blown Avenger membership. Though he took time because he probably needed to process everything he had been through and attempted to make sense of his new identity, his presence was always kind of a source of tension for Vision, who felt insecure. Like, because Simon was the whole reason why the Vision existed. Like, without Simon, the Vision wouldn't have a mind at all. So naturally, that was a little awkward for Vision. And obviously, it was difficult for Simon, who he respected Vision, and even though Vision lacked Simon's memories, the two remained pretty distinct. He still struggled with the existential ramifications of having a virtual duplicate of his consciousness, not only walking around, but living in the same house. That was hard for him, especially when you factor in that Simon was starting to develop feelings for the Vision's wife, the Scarlet Witch. Simon realizes that he came back pretty different. And not just, he knew he had superpowers, but he didn't feel human anymore. The most obvious and apparent change that anyone could tell was the fact that his eyes were now red and glowing. And around this time, as, we said, Eric started telling everyone, it was me. I did it. Mea culpa. The Grim Reaper, still absolutely torn asunder by the existence of both Simon and the Vision, he attacks the mansion again. There's a pattern. Trust me. He attacks Avengers Mansion and decides that he's going to put the Vision and Simon on trial to find out which one is the true Simon Williams. When Simon hears the Grim Reaper's voice, he's like, wait a minute, I know that sound. I know that voice. And the Grim Reaper takes off his mask and he's like, it is I, your brother, Eric. Dun dun dun. It's like a Telemundo soap opera at this point.
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you!